Good morning, everyone. Good morning. It is 9:18 in the morning, and I want to get some thoughts down. I was watching programs on YouTube about underground bases. I've heard that over the past 20 years, and I thought nothing of it. But listening to yesterday's program over YouTube, I really started questioning whether it's true or not. And one of the bases that really stood out to me was that there is supposed to be a base, underground base, by the island of Puerto Rico. Okay? And they mentioned that there are actually several bases. I think they said 2 American underground bases. It's under the water, I meant to say. It's under the water by Puerto Rico. And then there's supposedly other underwater bases by so-called aliens, ETs. I said to myself, wow. But then I really started thinking, well, what just transpired about a week ago, but a flood, a major flood due to Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Maria. And I said, wow. But I started really thinking, I said, that's what they show you, a hurricane. But I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm really stretching it here. What if some of the things that happen is due to these underground bases and they're doing and manipulating the weather? Or what if they're doing construction near there and that there's some type of happening and then it created the flood? I'm just wondering. And right now I'm watching a program with this man, I forget his name, and he made mention about different bases on the far side of the moon. And he's showing pictures. And that they've come here and that we all supposed to come from these other places, and that Earth has been seeded with many different groups. So my question is, okay, let's say if that's true, that this place is seeded by other ETs, why do they need to come here and seed this planet if all these ETs have all these abilities? Wouldn't they have outgrown us as a resource? They would be able to supply their own food, have machines to till the ground and all this other stuff. You know what else I'm thinking with these underground bases? And I think I've made mention to this in one of my recent videos, that with regard to the missing children, missing peoples. Now, if you have all these major bases, they mentioned that some of these bases on the moon is humongous. Some of them, the structures are several miles high. Things like that. So I'm also thinking, what about the underwater bases? They might be just as humongous. They made mention that the Earth is actually hollow, that there are underground cities all over. So this is really something. How do we learn what is true? Could my developing my meditation skills open up insight as to what's going on here on this planet as to people who are being kidnapped, missing, several 1,000 people missing every year just in this country alone. Children. And remember in the early 80s, the child Atlanta killings and missing children. Why there? It was big news back then. But I'm wondering whether it's part of a larger ring, human trafficking, not only in this world, but maybe in other worlds. And he also made mention that the moon, as we know it, is an artificial construct, and that it is a satellite. You know who else mentioned that but David Icke? He also mentioned that it is an artificial satellite. But look at this, some people who are into the New Age, they kind of like worship the moon, that it has all these powers and stuff. But isn't it now kind of different to worship the moon if it's an artificial construct of a bunch of high-tech individuals who might be just manipulating you? Wow. I wonder what the sun is then. Well, this is just food for thought. Let's try to connect the dots, guys. Bye-bye.